Hello new teachers, I am Tracy Pleim, your ISF, and I'm going to show you how to create an assignment in Synergy. So first things first, we need to log into Synergy. Now as an ISF, you're going to see this screen. This is kind of the administrative level, so ignore that. What you will end up having is your teacher view, which will come up shortly. Here it is. So right now, as you can see, that I'm in my 4th grade section of math. I have a 3rd grade section and then 0 hours. 0 hours are just the entire grade level in one snapshot. So I don't have any grading privileges with those groups. I can just kind of see the information for those students. But let's say that I want to create an assignment for my 3rd graders. I'm going to click on 3rd grade to make sure that section comes up. And then I'm going to go up to Gradebook and New Assignment. Okay, so I just, as you saw, switch over from my 4th to 3rd grade. You can do that here as well. So you can see I only have 2 sections. If I wanted to switch to a 4th grade assignment, I could just click there, but I'm currently under 3rd grade, which is what I want. To begin, I'm going to title the assignment. So let's say this is a Unit 1 test. Description, I might say something like this test assessed addition and subtraction. Maybe there's more, but you get the point. This is where the parents will be able to identify what the test was on. Test is what this is, so I'm going to click on test. There is no weighting when it comes to scores, so it's not as though an assignment would be worth 5% of the grade and the test is 95. So everything is weighted the exact same through Synergy. I'm going to have this as a raw score, not as a percentage or a rubric. And my max score, this is where if my test was out of 50 total points, this is where I would put that in. This points right here, again, would be for weighting, but there is no weighting through Mounds View's Synergy system, so I'm just going to leave that at 1 point. So again, max score is how many points the test is worth overall. So I'm going to put that as 50, and then the points I'm going to leave at 1. Date of assignment, this isn't as important, but you can choose to you can create assignments ahead of time and you can put them in like that, but I'm not going to do that. Assignment category, there is no extra credit in our Mounds View standards-based system, so that would not be a button that you would choose. Not for grading. If you're doing a formative assessment and you just kind of want parents to know that they took a pretest on text features, then you want the parents to know that, you can make it as not for grading, and then it will not roll up into the report card or the grading system at all. But this is a test I want parents to see, so I'm going to click normal. These buttons here, show assignment in portal, this will allow parents to see it. Again, on and off, I do want parents to see this test. I'm not doing a rubric, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. Show only when scored. So let's say that you have an assignment that's due Thursday and students start turning it in and you want to be able to mark how those students who are done have done. So you can leave it off, and that means that when all students have it completed, it would go in. If you want, let's say that 4 of the students are done on Monday and you want those parents to see it, then when the scores are entered or when they're done, that's when the parents will be able to see that they did this assignment. So it doesn't really matter. I'll leave it as off for this one. Grading periods, we are under semester 1, semester 2 system. You'll also want to click on FG for full year's grade. So again, semester 1 and then FG for full year. Once we get to 2nd semester, so that would be beginning of February, instead of S1, you would select S2. So again, S1, and then it'll do the final grade as well. And then standards correlations. This is where you'll be able to assign standards. We have the Mounds View priority benchmarks here, and then the state standards. Let's say that there are a couple of priority benchmarks, so I'll click on that, and we're talking about third grade math, so I'll make sure that grade 3 is selected, not grade 4. Number and operation, as you may remember, my test was on adding and subtracting numbers. So again, Mounds View priority benchmarks, these are the ones that will roll up into the final report card. So if your test or assignment is correlated to the priority benchmarks, and I can answer what that is at a later date, but if it is, make sure that you're selecting it here. So add and subtract multi-digit numbers, I'm going to select it by clicking on it. And as you can see, it's selected there. Let's say I have some word problems in there as well. I'll select that, and those standards are coming up here as I select them. But let's say that I have some non-Mounds View priority standards. I selected the state standards, math, grade 3, number and operation. Let's see if there's anything in here that is a Minnesota standard, but not a Mounds View priority standard. Let's say that this one was as well. So I can select it. As you can see, we have MV before this standard right here. That means it's a Mounds View standard, a priority standard, and that will roll up into the gradebook, and sorry, not just the gradebook, but into the report card. Where this one doesn't have the MV in front of it, this will not be a standard that rolls up into the report card. So that is it. I've attached standards to my test. There are more steps that you could take. For instance, you could make rubrics. You can add in a Dropbox feature. Yeah, there are resources you can add, but for the most part, this is what you would do for your assignments. And last but not least, I would save the assignment. Of course, I don't want to actually post this, so I'm not going to do that. But that's how you create an assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know.